All right, episode 17 of Bidderba. I'm finally back alone at my wonderful desk, and the setup that has now changed because the layout of my room has changed. And look, I wanted to do United episode for like a week, but then right before I was about to do it, the Casemiro news came out, and then I was like, fuck it, fine, I'll wait until the Liverpool game, and then they won that, and I was like, okay, well, that kind of changes what I want to say, so I was like, okay, I'll wait a little bit. Now they played Southampton, and they won again, unconvincingly though, but they won, so it kind of changes this. I mean, look, none of the things that I was going to criticize about United have changed. 2 games don't make a good team. They don't. And they're not a good team. And they're not a well-run team or organization in any way, shape, or form. So, none of that changes, really. Like, I'm just going to look. I'll tell you most of the stuff I'm going to talk about was after the Brentford game, the analysis, the talking points, those kind of things. Like, I'm going to actually try something new today. I'm going to try to incorporate videos and like clips and some sort of analysis. For the first time, I'm going to actually incorporate clips and like show you exactly in the game what I'm talking about. And actually, I only have clips of the first 2 games because those are the ones I analyzed. But honestly, some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about has actually been adjusted, was adjusted in the Liverpool game and in the Southampton game. Just a few minor tweaks and stuff like, I mean, we haven't really seen Casemiro's full debut yet, so I just wanted to kind of talk about the things he might add to the team. But just let's do a general overview of the team, right? We've upgraded our technology. I no longer have a notepad. I have an iPad now, so just a simple overview, right? I just went back the last 5 years, right? Last 5 years of United transfers. I'm only putting meaningful things, okay? I'm not putting like random, like very cheap signings or loans or whatever. I'm not including any of those, right? 18-19, they signed Fred for 60 million from Shakhtar, highly rated in fairness. Pep wanted him. And Dalo for 22 million, right? They signed 19-20, they signed Maguire for 87 million, Bruno for 63 million in the winter. Wan-Bissaka for 55 million, and Dan James for 18 million, right? A summer that was actually hyped up by some at that time. 2021, they signed Donny van de Beek for 39 million, Amad Diallo for 21 million, Alexis, I don't know what his name is, Tejas for 15 million, and Cavani for free. 21-22, they finished second at that point, right? 21-22, they signed Sancho. Wait, did they finish second? I don't even remember anymore. 21-22, they signed Sancho for 85 million, Rafael Varane for 40 million, and Ronaldo for 15 million. And this season, they've signed Lisandro Martinez for 60 million, who I love, Malacia for 15 million, who I know nothing about, and Eriksen for free, and also, I didn't have this in the notes, but Casemiro for 60 million. And they look like they're about to sign Martin Dubravka as a backup keeper, and they are bidding 90 million for Anthony, who none of us have watched, which is fair. Whatever. The highest ever fee for an Eredivisie player if it goes through. And after, look, the first 2 games, you lose to Brighton, and it was bad. And then you lose to Brentford, and it was even worse. And the talking points after those first 2 games are, oh my God, it's De Gea. Oh my God, it's De Gea, and he's the worst, and this is why we're losing. And look, at the end of the day, he was the reason that they conceded for the first 2 goals against Brentford. So he gets the blame for that. I'm fine with sticking that game on him, right? But to just... like, this is what United fans have done for the past 2 years. Like, last season it was, oh, Ronaldo doesn't press. And because Ronaldo doesn't press, we simply cannot function as a footballing team everywhere around him. The other 10 players simply can't do anything because Ronaldo can't press. That's apparent. That's the image people kept trying to paint last year. And this year it's, oh, De Gea can't pass the ball. He's not good in distribution. He can't pass short. He can't pass long. And therefore, we simply, like, the other 10 players just can't do anything. Nobody else can receive the ball. Everybody else is doing, it's just impossible. It is simply impossible for anybody else to do anything, given that a goalkeeper cannot distribute properly. That's what I'm being told. Despite the fact that I watched personally, Donnarumma, right, who's one of the worst distribution keepers I've ever seen. Okay, like for the first 2 years of this dude's career, I was genuinely having arguments with people because they wanted the center backs to take the goal kicks, and not now where like the rule has changed and you can actually pass into the box. No, I'm talking about when you had to pass the ball outside of the 18-yard box every single time a goal kick happened. They still wanted the center backs to take those goal kicks. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Like at a professional level, that's how bad of a distributor he was, right? And apparently, the team just functioned. It still worked. We still finished second at some point with him. You know, I mean, eventually, at first it was bad, but you get what I'm saying. Like if you build a competent enough team, who gives a fuck what the goalkeeper distributes? Now, is it great to have a goalkeeper who distributes? Yes, it's amazing. It adds an extra layer to your team, the way we have now with Manyan. Like there's an extra layer to our team that we simply did not have. I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that to be one of the absolute elite teams in the world, you probably need that. I acknowledge that as well. But what I don't acknowledge is that you can get beat the fuck down every single game in every single phase because your goalkeeper can't distribute. Because that's just not a reflection of reality. And there's like so many clips that De Gea is in no way involved in, that every single player at United, including the ones that they don't criticize, right? Including the ones like Eriksen and like Sancho and those guys. There's so many examples of all those guys being derelict of duty. Just none of them not knowing a single fucking thing on the pitch. So this nonsense that I get it. And when you say that, United fans' immediate reaction is, well, we talk about the midfield all the time. Well, that's cool. But you can talk, oh, the midfield is bad, and you still try to scapegoat one player for the majority of your problems. And it's just not true. Like, there are genuinely United fans who think that David De Gea, a goalkeeper, is the main problem they have on the team, right? To me, it's as simple as this. I don't give a fuck what a goalkeeper does. He simply cannot be that impactful. He can't. He's the position that touches the ball the least. Unless he's literally picking up the ball and throwing it into his net, which I acknowledge De Gea actually did do for the first Brentford goal, right? But other than that, unless he's literally doing that, he cannot be the source of everything else going to shit. He can't be the source why you can't fucking move the ball into the final third against Brentford. He can't. It's just impossible. A goalkeeper cannot be that detrimental to your team. He can't. The position is simply handicapped. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a defensive midfielder. It's not. He's just not. You don't have the impact. You can't have the impact of an outfielder. You just can't. Like, no matter what Alisson does, Alisson is great, but no matter what he does, he can't be as impactful on Liverpool's build-up as Trent or Van Dijk or any of these other guys, because they can actually get to the next level of the pitch. They can actually dribble past somebody. They can actually pass in different ways that he can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just different. The field, when they receive the ball, the field is in different phases. A goalkeeper simply can't be that impactful. If you look at the entire United structure, right? I looked at all these things. I'm just going to highlight the De Gea point, right? My thing is like this, right? Everybody collectively acknowledges that in 17-18, right? He was a historically good shot stopper. I'm not talking about distribution now. We're just talking about shot stopper, right? Because the thing is now they've pivoted from like, oh, he's not just a bad distributor. He's also a bad shot stopper because of the mistakes he made against Brentford. And I concede he makes mistakes. Of course. But this is the thing. We all acknowledge that in 17-18 he was a historic shot stopper, right? Cool. His stats in that year, he had a plus 8.5 post-shot expected goals, which basically in layman's terms means he saved 8.5 goals, right? That's 0.23 per 90, right? I'm not a huge stats guy, but I mean, even I can read that and be like, okay, that's really good, right? Cool. 18-19, 19-20, and 20-21. That's 3 seasons. His post-shot expected goals saved total in all 3 years, okay? In all 3 years, right? was plus 2.3. So a quarter, 1/4 of 17-18, right? Now, if you want to call him a mediocre keeper, a mediocre shot stopper in those years, be my guest. 100% true. By every statistical measure, he was a mediocre. Not below average, not bad, but he was mediocre shot stopper at best in those 3 seasons, right? Cool. In 21-22, last year, right? Huge bounce back. He was plus 6.7. Plus 6.7. He saved nearly 7 goals. Statistically. Not my opinion. Not your opinion. Okay? Statistically. Yes, he made mistakes. And those go against him. Okay? Those go against him in this stat. So even the mistakes are counted in here. And he still saved 6.7 shots. 6.7 goals, sorry. Over the course of the season. Right? In the first 2 games this season, he had a -1 post-shot expected goals. -1. Which means in 2 games, he basically did 3 seasons worth of damage. I understand that's how bad he was as a shot stopper in the first 2 games. But what I present these stats to say is that last year, he was objectively a great shot stopper. Okay? Objectively. He wasn't as good as 17-18, but he was objectively a great shot stopper last year, right? And his distribution wasn't great, but we discussed that. You can win with a great shot stopper, but not a great distributor. You can still win if the rest of your team is functional, right? Okay. So last year, he was a great shot stopper, a bad distributor, and United still were this bad. They were still this dysfunctional. So to put all this blame on one player, and again, a goalkeeper, it just makes no sense. He can make as many saves as he wants, and United still won't, which is his number 1 duty. Okay, regardless of what you think about the modern game, the number 1 duty of a keeper is to save, is to make saves, right? And against Liverpool, he did make saves, and he's not going to be a -1 expected goals allowed fucking keeper in the first 2 games. He's not going to concede half a goal more than he's supposed to every single game. That makes no sense. He was obviously going to improve from then. And he's probably going to end the season around average, I assume. Right? So if you have an average shot stopper and a bad distributor, that's not a good player. Let me preface this with everything I said. I need to make sure you understand. I don't think David De Gea is a good player. I do not. I don't think he should be the keeper at Manchester United. I do not. Okay? But at the same time, I understand that despite him being bad, there isn't a single fucking keeper in the world, in the universe, to have ever lived or played the game at any level whatsoever. There's not a single keeper who could put a 5% dent in the problems that United have. There's no keeper that can improve some of the fucking build-up mistakes I'm seeing, and that I'll show in a second. There's no keeper that can do that. There hasn't been one, and I doubt there ever will be one. Okay? The position simply is not that impactful to fix some of these issues. The position is impactful in distribution, right? In build-up. It is. But it's not this impactful to fix some of these mistakes. I'm going to show you. All right. I'm going to try to show you some of these clips, okay? I found this app and whatever, and hopefully this works. I've tried it a couple times, and it looked nice. So if it doesn't look as good as I think it might, just spare me. It's my fucking first time. Hopefully I'll get it later, okay? But I just want you right now, everybody retain the memory of United's second goal conceded against Brentford, right? The one where De Gea passes the ball meant for Eriksen and it ends up, a Brentford player ends up intercepting it and scoring, right? Just everybody retain that to memory and then watch these clips as I show you, okay? First game of the season. First game of the season against Brighton, right? Okay, the clip is already starting. Look at the build-up, okay? You have De Gea. He's getting pressed. He's getting pressed already, right? Now, this is a play that you're going to see constantly with United, in the first 2 games especially. Right now, look at what the first thing. This guy covers the center back. This guy covers the center back. What's their next option? Is Fred is going to come and occupy the space, right? Cool, all good. The problem is every fucking team in the world knows From the first game. It's so obvious and telegraphed. Every team knows this is going to happen. So as we play the clip, what's the first thing that can happen? Oh, he's going to pass to Fred. Look at this guy. Immediately on his ass. Right? Fred is not the player to play this kind of style with. He's just not the player. Actually, none of the United midfielders are, including Eriksen. None of them are the style of player this needs. Right? What's Fred going to do as soon as he receives the ball? Take a guess. Fire the fucking ball anywhere. He has no idea where the hell he has no idea what his surroundings are. He has no idea where anywhere is. And he has absolutely no idea that he has a ton of fucking space right behind him. He has no idea that if he just simply turns, the whole pitch is behind him. No idea. Actually, none of the United midfielders seem to do in the first 2 games, right? This comes out and Fred ends up making up for his own mistake, right? Cool. Second clip, right? We just watched that. We just watched that in the Brighton game. This is the Brentford game. 8 minutes gone. Almost the same amount of time, right? Again, right here, we have De Gea, right? Striker takes the first center back. Striker takes the second center back. Cool. Where are the options going to come? From midfield. Again, it's not Fred this time. It's Eriksen. Eriksen is going to come, and he's going to get the ball played to him. Immediately. This is not the goal, right? You remember the goal, right? This is not it. This is not it. Okay? Janssen is going to come out just fucking sprinting. Because every team has studied this. He's sprinting to get to Eriksen. Because this is how easy it is, right? Eriksen's immediately pressured. What does he do? Quick pass to Maguire. Invites even more pressure. No options. Maguire ends up having to kick it out. And it goes out for a United throw, right? Alright. Third clip. And again, you're going to watch this one. Still not the goal. Still not the goal. Same exact idea. Same exact idea. Okay? Here's Maguire, right? De Gea is not involved in this whatsoever. Okay? It's already 1-0. You can't blame De Gea for this build-up whatsoever. De Gea is not involved here. Okay? But it's still the exact same principles. Maguire's walking up the pitch. Walking. And nobody's making this run here. Eriksen's not moving here, actually trying to give him an easier pass. Nobody is giving him any real options. What ends up happening is, again, Eriksen comes close to the ball, right? What does he do? Maguire plays the same pass. The same pass. I asked you to remember the first goal, the second goal, right? Watch. Maguire plays the same pass to Eriksen. Oh, look! He's bullied. He's harried. Immediately he loses the ball. Maguire gives away a free kick. Immediately. It's the same goddamn concept. It's the same thing. Over and over and over. And finally, the fourth clip. This is the goal. I just want you to understand. These clips are just what I've picked out. I could have picked out a million clips of bad build-up. But just to illustrate that this goal had been coming for 100 other minutes of football. Right? This is the 17th minute in the Brentford game. It was going on all the Brighton game. Okay, so anybody who watched the Brighton game could have seen all these moves, and clearly Brentford were ready for all these fucking plays. Look at this. Again, this is the goal, right? Again, it's the same fucking thing. It's De Gea passing to oncoming Eriksen. He plays the ball, and immediately, for the third fucking time in this game alone, Janssen is sprinting. He's sprinting, knowing that Eriksen's going to get the ball in the exact same spot with no options whatsoever. He's sprinting. He can't wait to get the ball because even he can't believe how in the fuck are they going to pass the ball to the same guy three consecutive times in the same game when we've blown up the play 3 consecutive times. How do you do that? How do you do that? How do you keep playing the exact same thing over and over and over, and it hasn't been successful one time over the course of 2 games? How does that make sense? Somebody explain it to me. Like, you can fucking talk about the personnel as much as you want, but this is bad coaching as well. And let me say, I don't want Ten Hag fired. I would like that guy to get as much time as he needs, right? And he's going to need a lot of time. But at the same time, you can't watch this and tell me this is good coaching. Okay? You can't watch this and tell me either after the Brighton game, you sit down and you go, okay, this was too easy. This was too easy for them. It's just too easy to predict. And every other team is going to follow suit and you're going to get fucked. Either you sit down and you have that conversation and you come up with something that brings the guy who gets the ball, when the guy receives the ball, either give De Gea a better option or give the guy who receives the ball better options, right? Either that or scrap it. Play the fucking ball long, which for thank God they actually did start doing in the Liverpool and Southampton games, right? Which is why I'm going to give Ten Hag credit. Like, at least he finally caught up. But to say that this is all individuals just making fucking mistakes, it's not. Because I'm showing you 105 different players all making the exact same mistake. But I really don't even see what the players are supposed to do in that scenario. None of them are going to take these guys off the dribble. We already know that about these players. So to keep putting them in this position with such few options to do anything, it's insanity. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I want to show you how insanely predictable this became, right? I just want to show you this clip. It perfectly illustrates how embarrassingly predictable this became as the game gone on. Like, this clip is at 2-0. It's after a cooling break. So they've had the opportunity to talk to Ten Hag and discuss what the fuck is going on, right? How embarrassingly predictable this is. Watch. Again, they come out to the same thing. It's De Gea and a goal kick. And immediately, what are Mbeumo and Tony doing? Tony's going to his center back and Mbeumo's going to his center back. Okay? What are the options? This guy's coming here. There's a guy about to come and cover Dalo, right? They're trying. They're praying to God and all the heavens that he passes it to Eriksen again, right? They're trying. Look at this. Just watch this clip, please. I'm not even going to comment. Just watch. Right here. Focus on Eriksen right here, okay? Just watch. Look at how fucking fast this dude sprints. He wants it so goddamn bad. And do you know what the most embarrassing fucking part about it is? Is that until that happened, until he ran the entire length of the fucking pitch, until that happened, they were actually about to do it again. They were actually setting up to do it again. And only until De Gea saw that did he send them all up and just fucking kick it long. Like, do you understand what I'm saying here? How at 2-0 were they still trying to do this? And like, the Brentford midfielder came out of the cooling break unready. And it's so predictable. He's sprinting half the field just to get to Eriksen. Because he knows. Everybody knows. Like, do you understand how ridiculously easy this is to be pressed? And people will still say, oh, it's De Gea's fault. It's De Gea's the problem. That's why they can't build out of the back. What the hell, goalkeeper? What goalkeeper in this situation? What other goalkeeper? What can he do other than go long? Tell me. You can say another goalkeeper will go long more accurately. I agree. But no goalkeeper can go short in these situations. Not with this level of predictability. It's impossible. This doesn't make any sense. Like, everybody, after this game, everybody's like, oh, imagine if Raya switched sides. You would have lost 3-0 instead of 4. That's it. Maybe 2-0. Maybe 2-0. Right? Because he was responsible for the first and second goal. De Gea was. Right? So, okay, man, you lose 2-0. But you were not the better team in any of these phases. Nothing. I haven't even, like, dared to clip up the offensive clips. The offensive, like, moments. Because, first of all, there were so few. And, like, I don't want to hurt myself and my soul by watching that, having to watch that again, and making you watch that again. Like, nothing that's happening in the final third is good either. So I really don't understand how you can pin this on a fucking goalkeeper. It makes no sense. I don't know if this is becoming tedious, honestly, but this is just, please, just bear with me one last clip, okay? Because honestly, like, I'm not, look, Casemiro's not the greatest at the build-up either, but he at least has a brain, which honestly most of these United midfielders seem to lack. So just him being there, at least he won't make some of these mistakes. Like, just watch this clip right here, okay? Maguire's walking up, okay? Fred's first instinct is to make a little move to the right. Cool, no problem with that, right? Maguire here points, says, no, I want you to make this one here. Cool, everything's working here, right? Now, McTominay, who has view of everything that is happening here, right? He has the perfect advantage. He has everything in his line of sight. And this fucking idiot, he decides, nope, I'm going to also make this run here. Right? Now they both make the run here. And look at how stupid this is. Look! What is this? Why are they both here? Why is all this space left empty? How does this make any sense? If McTominay had even the slightest understanding of the game, he would have made this run earlier. And the fact that Fred has to go and make that run, okay, and that gives this striker time to press Maguire and push him off his spot and make him go and turn around and pass it to De Gea. Like, that shit right there is where fucking build-up goes to die. That's where attacks go to die. Right there. With that level of stupid fucking decision-making, that's where attacks go to die. At the very least, Casemiro won't do shit like that. At the very least, he won't do shit like that. Like, if you can count on one thing an elite player will do is he'll stand in the right spot. I don't know what he'll do when the ball gets there, but at least he's not going to be doing that. Like, do you understand? That's the level we're talking about here. Like, all McTominay had to do was go to that other space, and he would have given Maguire 2 great options to pass. And he would have taken Caicedo with him. Instead, he comes and punches up with full view of everything that's happening, and he still makes this fucking mistake. Like, that's the kind of shit where it's like, there's so much going wrong on this team. Both coaching, individual level, like organizational level, everything. Everything is wrong. I just don't even know how to fucking deal with it. Like, I was actually actively pissed off watching these games. The title for this fucking episode was, when I first initially did it, I said United are gone and they're never coming back again. That's what the title was. And now they've won 2 games, so I don't know where the fuck that stands, but that leaves them standing. But like, the same problems are still there. All of the same problems are still there.